Hey, what's up? Welcome back.
Yeah, once again, sorry, I don't have the topics working for some strange reason, so we're topicless right now. But we just talked about like 300 events, so we're going to move on to the release of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and our initial impressions. David, what do you think so far? Game is good.
It's great.
The game is good, and you know what? Look, I'm just going to say this right now. Obviously, people are like, you guys are shills, whatever. They've been saying that for the longest time. You can't pay this many people now because there just has not been anything bad said about this game, like at all, by anybody who's gotten it and played it, except for like 2 people.
Gameplay.
Yes, gameplay.
All of our discussions will be about the gameplay. To get it out of the way, it's not a very nice looking or sounding game.
That is the nicest way that you could have put that, right?
The nicest thing anybody's ever said about the graphics in Marvel Infinite was said by my girlfriend, who said, "It looks just like all your fighting games." That was her take.
Yeah.
I brought her home and I was like, "Man, look at this character select screen." She was like, "It looks the same." I was like, "What do you mean? It's clearly different."
Right.
Anyway.
Oh, before we move on the MvCI stuff, that's right, we were discussing during the break that I really, really wanted to mention that during the Thunderstruck tournament, one of their longtime players there, a Guilty Gear player by the name of Hugo Martinez Barron, actually passed away at the event due to a heart attack. And he had made top 8 into the tournament, and I believe they had to move to another venue to finish the event out and everything like that. So, not to dampen the mood or sour the mood or anything like that, but definitely wanted to take the time to give a shout-outs to him, to acknowledge that happened, and to really, just give a shout-outs to another one of our fallen members of the FGC. So, it's a terrible situation, but, look, he was in a position right now where, his passing, we can talk about it and everything. So he definitely made an impact. People will know and people will remember. So shout outs to Hugo Barron.
Yeah, best wishes to family and friends.
For sure. So, but
rest in peace. Yeah. Marvel Infinite. Looks aside, audiovisual work notwithstanding, super great and awesome. A bunch of people, I feel like everybody in the venue, went up to Combo Fiend at SoCal Regionals this past weekend and said, "Great work," / "Nice job," / "High five," / something, "Nice work."
I definitely did.
I did. I saw a lot of people doing it. It's awesome. I mean, the gameplay is so open. You can do whatever. There's only been one instance so far where I've thought to myself, "What can I do that?" And then I cannot.
Right.
It was, can Hagar put the barrel out and then tag out, and is Hagar just standing there with the barrel as a parry, which would be pretty crazy, right. Admittedly, and he cannot.
Right.
He cannot. But other than that, like every single time, I haven't even heard of anybody else coming up with something that didn't work.
Right. I tested it, by the way. If you drop the barrel, you do not get the item.
You have to
throw it.
Got it.
So, and you'll see it. One of the barrels will be glowing. Like they're glowing, they're distinctly glowing, and if you throw it forward, then the item pops out of that. So, but again, I mean, look, I know everyone makes fun of the word. I don't care. The game is so creative. Like you just have the ability to do whatever the hell you want. Like everything works, and the thing about it, the pace of the game, the amount of mental, like how fast your brain has to move is unlike anything I've ever seen. It to the point where when I'm watching it, I have no idea what was going on half the time. There was one point in time I saw a counter switch and then another switch, and there's 4 people on the screen. There was explosions, and I was like, I even turned to one of the reps from Capcom. And I looked at him, I was like, I have no idea what's going on.
He was probably like, "That's awesome."
Yeah, he was probably happy about that.
Yeah,
and it's like I haven't, like, it was interesting when Justin got the early copy and he was streaming, and I went into the chat. And you could feel it. Like, the chat was just so vile. It was just like, oh, here's the shield joke. Here's the, is this a mobile game joke? And it was like 80% of the comments were people cut and pasting essentially the same sick burn, bro. Like over and over and over again. And it was just so vile. Everyone was so mean about it. After the game came out, like, I went into a stream where people were watching it, and like, you could see like the people still trying to keep that up, and it just felt sad all of a sudden. Like it just looked sad. Like I think it was at NLBC or at Wednesday Night Fights. I was just watching it. Someone's like, "Man, is this a mobile game?" Ha ha ha! And like no one would pay attention to it, and it just looked like they were trying so hard at that point in time, because there's not a single person who has played the game who has said anything bad about it. Like literally, except for maybe like 2 people.
I mean, I haven't met anybody, but I'm sure somebody doesn't like it out there. I don't know, but. Nobody I've talked with yet. In fact, at SCR, I talked with people from every game scene, and everybody I talked with was into it. You know, Katana Prime and I made a date to play Marvel Infinite on the internet.
Oh yeah, nice.
He's going to play the game.
Nice.
People from the BlazBlue scene, from the Tekken scene, from the Street Fighter scene, from whatever. Everybody's playing it. Or at least says that they're going to play it. I mean, who knows how many people are going to follow through, obviously, but everybody seems interested in playing. It is very, very interesting. You know, of course, it's week 1. Well, I guess it's week 2-ish now, but it seems like it's at a very interesting spot, and there's a lot to invent, a lot to come up with. I still feel like we should hold out the possibility that that something's going to come out that's going to be too wild.
Oh yeah, absolutely, you know, absolutely.
I'm not willing to pronounce that it's not going to be.
I expect it in a weird way.
Yeah,
you know.
But they do have the capability to patch stuff, so it's not going to be forever broken if that does come up. And certainly, it hasn't happened yet. You know, people are converging on the early, obvious stuff. That always happens. Happened in Injustice. It happened in Street Fighter 5. Literally every time. People pick the early good stuff, and that's what wins early on. So you're seeing a lot of characters who I think are probably always going to be good, but like probably not as good long term as they seem right now.
The one that one sticks out to me is just Reality Gem.
Yeah, Reality Gem seems like it's good. Probably never going to be bad, but I talked with Combo Fiend. He thinks that Space is the best.
I actually think Mind Stone is kind of underrated, to be honest.
I'm interested in particularly Doctor Strange Mind Stone, because that gives you so much time to set things up. I like the idea of Power Stone to interrupt things and as an anti-air, and for some characters it hits at a spot on screen that their normals don't.
Right.
I like the idea of time for characters who either need to get in or don't have mobility and can get mobility.
Right, when Saktab actually used it for his Arthur team, right? His Arthur Thanos team, it worked out very well.
Totally made sense. Sonic Fox was playing time and won a tournament with it.
And I think that's important too, because Chris G said that he was playing Morrigan and Jeddah, and he doesn't have a ground dash. And he was just like, I can't win without a ground dash. You know, I need a character with a ground dash. Both of them have flying ones. And I was like, Time Gem maybe? You know, like, so I think it makes sense that Sonic Fox is using a Time Gem with Jeddah so that he can move around on the ground a little bit better.
Sonic Fox has block infinites during Time Reality, during Time Infinity Storm. You know, there's a lot of stuff yet to be made. Soul seems crazy. Richard Glenn's comeback was due to Soul.
Did you see what he said? He put on the internet. He was like, Reality is early scrub killer.
Yeah.
And then he said, Space Stone good for certain characters. And he said, Soul Stone must learn if you really want to have the full fun of the game.
That's what he says, yeah.
Did you see the combo video that Desk just put out?
No.
He did a Soul Stone combo video where he's controlling the other. And someone actually just showed me today on stream a different tech with the Soul Stone. So when you activate the Soul Stone, you get both of your characters to control.
Yeah.
If you hold the tag button, you only control your point character, right? If you hold a button down and let go of the button, it negative edges your teammate and not you.
I already thought that was too fancy for my hands to handle, but now that's going to get super
someone
wild.
said you can actually hold 2 punches, hold the tag button, do quarter circle forward, let go of tag, and you'll do a super only with the partner.
I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I was testing it. I was like, holy, and like my point character, Ghost Rider, was just standing there, and my partner was going punchy, 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 punchy. Like literally, you can control the other guy with just by letting go of your tag partner button, and like they really came up with a way. They're like, let's just find another way to make it so that you could actually control only the other guy.
That is awesome.
I don't like now that we know that.
Playing Soulstone.
Now we know that. Now I want to see what Desk does with the combo video, right? So
yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, I can see why Combo Fiend thinks that Space is the best. it's just so useful. You know, you get corner combos mid-screen. You get
with the box. Mm-hmm.
You get to punish things for sure because the opponent can't tag when they're in the box. So if they do something punishable, you box, then you punish them.
Right, someone did that, and it was Champ who did that. He did that to Dante. He like boxed him when he was shooting, so he couldn't tag the other guy. Yeah,
right. Yeah, during $1 Million. You get mix-ups, of course. I got a chip set up, so anti-air normals do chip in this game. The opponent's in the air, and you're doing a ground button, then you'll chip them out. Not to kill, but you'll chip them. So I have it set up in the corner with a forced stand situation / up tech situation, where if the opponent up techs, then as Nemesis, I just am noodling them. I noodle them for like 20% damage and chip.
They can't land in between?
Because Thor's doing his super.
Oh.
So it's Thor's super, keeping him up in the air.
So you're doing real chip with the red life chip, basically.
Yes.
Okay. Oh wait, no, but they're
both real chip.
They're real chip.
They're both real chip. It's like super chip plus normal chip. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. And of course, obviously, you got to mix up after that. So.
Right.
Anyway, there's a lot of stuff that's. I feel like the utility of it is hard to ignore. But I feel like the utility of Soul is very high. I don't know.
The thing that actually made me the most sad is that if they're in hit stun, you can't suck them in. I want to do heavy suck them in, and then level 3 with Ghost Rider. like interrupt my own combo, like from a screen away, like go fierce, and then Soulstone cancel, and then drag them in, and then level 3 them, but it doesn't drag them in.
Well, that's probably, I mean, but you can, with at least some characters, do button, Kara, next button, Soul, Space Gem.
Oh, really?
And they won't be in Boxstone anymore because the Boxstones run out by that point. Oh, so like Thor can do.
That's what that video was about. That's right. That was showing with Mega Man X. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, there's going to be a lot of tricks.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens there.
You know, I was actually really surprised. Like I was talking to you about this over the weekend, but like when I first heard, they were like, "Oh, the third character will be the gem." Like, I read that, and I was just like, that is such marketing talk. Like, there's no way the gems are going to be that crazy. This is just your way of trying to ease people away from the 3 characters and the 2 characters thing. But it's actually, to me, I think the gem system is super cool.
Agreed.
And I feel like they did a really good job with the variety on the gems.
Definitely.
Like, I was actually surprised that it was actually... sorry, I gotta stop using that word. I was surprised that it was that interesting.
Yeah.
That it turned out to be that interesting, and that makes it so that all the characters, that the teams feel that much different with the different gems.
Yeah, they really are different. Like, I was thinking about the team I'm playing right now, Nemesis Hagar. With space, like I said, I have these mix-ups. I can make it so that the opponent can't zone me. Space pull-in itself has armor. I don't know if everybody knows that, but it has armor, and you can cancel the armor frames into super. So there's like a lot of utility in bringing the opponent to you and punishing them and mixing up and stuff. But then if I go with time instead, now like Nemesis is in your face whenever he wants to be. You know, because big old noodles, right? Noodles into time is like from anywhere.
And it gives you armor on the suction too. The space
on
one.
Space.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just saying like the difference.
With time.
Yes.
Okay,
if I'm time, I don't have the armor anymore. I don't have the mix-ups anymore. But I have super fast mobility with characters that you wouldn't expect it from. They can get through zoning and who knows what kind of combos or whatever they have in the actual Infinity Storm. I haven't even tested yet. Right. So those seem like very obviously different characters. You know, like you would play Nemesis differently. You would play all these.
Yeah,
you have these different things. So I really like it.
You
I think it's very
like I said, I still think Mind might be the most underexplored one. Like I feel like that there's
not many people are doing it, but I did. Like I said, I saw a video of Strange with Mind, where he gets the grab, and then he takes the fact that they reel for a long time, and it's not mash outable, to set up whatever he wants, like all the little flames and so forth.
I had a combo with Spider-Man, with Ghost Rider, that I tag into Spider-Man, and he does the boom, 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 and it does the automatic reel, and so I web ball them before they hit the ground. So I've web balled them, and their hit stun scaling is just at the most stupid height. So I just launch them, and then super jump, cancel, mind stem them because they flip out of that. You know
That's
what I mean?
Definitely good.
I just feel like there's a lot of like I jokingly called it the Skullgirls gem because I feel like Skullgirls has a lot of throw resets in the game, so I feel like that the mind gem is going to be concentrated on that, and even like with what was it that I was doing? I did something with like heavy, and then tag into Spider-Man, and I just ran up and just like mind gem them right away. And I feel like if you lock them down and it's like perfect time to mind gem them, people are going to start holding up back, and then you're going to be able to open up low. Like,
sure.
All these
If a character does not have a command grab and has like speed and ability to get in there, I feel like it's a clearly useful gem for the mix-ups. I don't know if it's more useful or less useful than the other gems, but we'll see.
It's gonna be the one that's gonna take the hardest to use because it's definitely good because like the scaling is high on after the throw, and it doesn't feel obvious. And when you play it, you see this guy throwing reality gems at you or sucking you in and doing these boxes, and you're just like looking at your mind gem, and you're just like,
yeah, when do I get to use this? Right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like Charlie Brown. I got a rock, you know.
Yeah, I talked with Combo Fiend about reality, and he was like, "Yeah, it's good, but just jump into it and push block."
Right.
He was like not worried about it.
Exactly.
So it does. Mind Gem, when you grab somebody, does cause a lot of damage scaling in the follow-up, but every grab does.
Right.
As far as I know, they all do 50% damage scaling.
And the cool thing too is that the Mind Gem doesn't erase the red health like a regular throw does. Right, if you grab them with the Mind Gem, it doesn't count as a throw, so it doesn't erase the red health.
I don't think I knew that about grabs.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. If you throw, you just erase all. It's like Cross Tekken. It's like exactly like Cross Tekken.
Cool.
But the thing about it is, the Mind Gem, after they get up and they're dizzy, you can throw them.
They're in a throwable state?
Yeah, they're in a throwable state after they get up.
Oh, that I didn't know.
So you can do this big old combo, create all this red save, do a reset, Mind Stone, grab them, and then just walk up and toss them. If you really feel like killing all the red health, you can just toss them.
Interesting.
So I just feel like there's a lot. Like, can you imagine? That might be a counter to Soulstone, right? If you could find a Mind Gem reset and then throw them, and then now they have no health to recover. Right, because Soulstone you can only recover recoverable health, right? Or is it any?
As far as I think you just get 25% for the character that comes back to life.
Okay.
It's something like 25-ish. I don't know if it's exactly.
Then I wasn't sure. Okay, but yeah, lots of cool stuff.
It is very fun. A lot of the characters are underexplored right now. Like
Dude, you're using all these popular characters. Like I'm exploring Spider-Man. Like
right.
he's this really very very niche character. You know what I mean? Like who's ever heard of Spider-Man? Right?
You're using Spider-Man.
Nemesis and Haggard, like
top tier.
Yeah, exactly.
Combo Fiend actually thinks it is top tier team.
Oh man.
But I'm also trying Hulk and Thor. Thor might be top tier. We'll see. I have no idea. That's the thing. Like people are already talking about who they think are the tiers, and while some characters are probably never going to be bad, I can't imagine Dormammu being bad. Right? That seems unlikely. I don't know about the others though. I think if people get a little bit more accustomed to what Ultron does, maybe that's not going to be quite as effective. Or same with Gamora.
And I also think that the people already find tech how to get out of the conveyor belt. Push block, jump away, and you're out of there. I don't think it's going to be quite. I mean, people are going to find ways to counter that, and maybe it'll get nerfed in a patch. Who knows? But I don't think it's necessary. Yeah. To be honest with you,
I hope that there are no nerfs or changes otherwise for the foreseeable future, unless something real crazy happens.
Because right now it just, and the streams that I've been doing recently, where I'm just going through all the systems, I'm finding a lot of really interesting things that like I said, I just put up a bunch of tech videos in there, and I think that there's some really cool things there. Like I don't even know if a lot of people know that the super hop, you can control the height of the super hop, right? So it's like at halfway up, you hit down and you start floating right there, and so you get a lot of power out of that. Like that is perfect height for Spider-Man to freeze, wait, air dash, and kick, as opposed to way up there. It's like better here, And
Makes
then
sense.
I was figuring out ways to do the super hops and block right away because proximity guard. If there's like a reality stone on the screen, if you super jump and hit down back, it's like backdashing. Block takes priority over the command to stop your jump.
Makes sense.
So you can actually I just do a half circle back from forward flip, and then it passes by offensive crouch, and that triggers the down, and then you can block right away.
Makes sense.
Lots of little things like that, and I think it's just so much about this game to discover, and I just feel like that there's going to be so much craziness going on in this game, and I'm excited about that.
Same. Very much the same.
I mean, some people were saying that they're kind of mad. Like, you know, you see Monster Hunter coming out, and she's just, like, has all this detail. She's, like, super crazy. She has, like, all these awesome references, and they're hiding it behind the paywall and whatever like that. But, I mean, like, shouldn't you be happy that, like, a character's coming out that has all this detail? Like, I'm happy about that, even though I don't get any of the references.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's 2 people on the planet that were super sad about Marvel, about Shumagorath being hidden behind a paywall. It's just me and Angelic, and that was it, you know? But, like, I was sad then. I had to buy Shumagorath.
Yeah. I don't agree that Hulk is bad.
I don't think he's bad.
I think he's just a different character than he was before.
Yeah.
A lot of his stuff is different. The Gamma Wave is, first of all, not a charge move anymore. It's not back then forward punch. It's just quarter circle, which means it's more accessible. But it's also different. It's not like a counter zoning tool, which it kind of was before. You could kind of beat some projectiles on the way, a lot of them actually, and it was fast enough that you could like beat some.
Right.
You know. Now it's not like that, but it is an excellent shield. It's super good. I feel like it's a excellent like path in. Like covers the ground. It's slow moving. It still beats projectiles. Tag is like a clear setup.
Right.
I'm not sure that he is a point character as much as he was before. I think he may be a support character. I feel like he may be the character who sets up the incoming, or sets up the mix-up with the secondary character. So he's the support. He tags in the point character. Point character finds the hit. Then he
tags in,
comes back in and does some damage and sets up the wave again.
Captain America comes and starts the hit, and then he turns and goes, Hulk, smash.
Yeah, right. I feel like there's a chance that he's more like that. So,
right.
I don't know. We'll see. It's all good. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, it's a great game. I highly recommend it.
Spidey Hulk. That might be interesting.
Spidey Hulk?
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Spider-Man's interesting, but now that I've learned, so instant air dashing is so much better if you learn how to do the Guilty Gear method than the 2 punches.
Really?
Yeah, it's much better because if you hit the punches too early, you commit to a punch. If you actually do up, forward, which never worked in any of the Marvel games before. This is the first time it works. Even if you hit forward too early, it just waits until you get to the height, and there's a window, and you just air dash. You can't miss it. There's no such thing as too early. Oh. It will just take the lowest height for you as possible to do that.
Okay, fair enough.
So with Spider-Man, if I'm next to you, I can do like 7 instant overheads in a row. I'm just like, instant overhead, instant overhead, instant overhead.
Very cool.
Like,
very cool.
It's actually really cool. So, but Spider-Man's going to be interesting because once he gets on top, I was wondering how he was going to open people up at first, but now that I found that instant overhead, he's going to be nasty.
I got to see this. We got to play.
He's going to be nasty. So
Goldilocks. That's why. That's like a significant part of why I was playing Hulk Thor at the very start.
Nice. And because you're shilling out for Marvel's Thor Ragnarok, which is coming to theaters in November.
I actually like the costumes for Hulk and Thor that are based on that movie.
Oh yeah,
have you seen them in the game?
No.
I haven't seen them pretty cool.
Oh yeah, okay, cool. That's funny. I can't wait for that movie though. They all said that it's like a road trip movie with like Hulk and Thor. Yeah, which I think is going to be funny.
It does sound cool. Anyway, it's a very, very good game so far. Please check it out, everybody. I highly recommend it. Don't. It's hard to give advice on this, but like I really hope that people look past the fact that it's not a pretty game because it's a lot of fun. I understand if that matters to people. I certainly I don't feel the same myself, but I get it. But seriously, give yourself a look.
Yeah,
it's a lot. It's look, very, very interesting.
People have talked about this. We can talk about this a little bit since it's on topic. But like it came out on Steam, on console, and like it's already out of the top 100 Steam games. Pokken DX sold more than it, but I don't know why people tout that as like Pokken DX sold more than it's Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokken 1 sold very well.
Yeah, I know. It's Pokemon.
Yeah. That said,
on the Switch, it's like
for sure. Pokken is gonna sell well. That's
like why is this even?
That's not a good comparison.
Yeah,
but it's not gonna. Marvel Infinite's not gonna sell that well.
Right. Mm-hmm.
At least not on launch. We'll see if people will figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people are upset with the game, and again, I get it. I totally get it, and I understand if you're mad that Monster Hunter's behind a paywall, Black Panther's behind a paywall, whatever. Blah 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 blah, all that stuff. Like if that's where the frustration comes in, that's fine. But again, if a bunch of people are saying that they're willing to buy the game and they're enjoying the game, like, let them enjoy it. They're not all shills. You know what I mean? Like, they're having fun with the game. I have not been this obsessed with a training mode in forever. And I am just having so much fun trying to figure things out. So
I feel that the show meme, if it's not already dead, it's going to die. Or at least, maybe it's going to be like one of those holdovers where it's like $8.95 forever. I know. But it's just going to be, it's just a joke. Yeah. There's no way I can survive like the real thoughts because it's too fun and interesting of a game. Hey, if you don't like the graphics, nobody likes it, you're in the same club as everybody else.
Yeah, and if you're mad that X-Men aren't there, fine. I totally understand. It makes me the saddest thing in the world.
It sucks.
Yeah, it makes me the saddest thing in the world that Wolverine is not going to be in a game for the first time, basically. Makes me sad. So, because he's been in every single one of them. He's been in,
Ryan Kazmer's list of what he expected to be in the game was entirely wrong. Howard the Duck. Why did we even have him on the end?
Dude, I don't know why. It makes me sad every time I think about it.
So the sound design, some of it's funky. Some of the voices are weird. Some of the music is actually all right that I've listened to now. Some of it's not that great. I really like the block noises, though. The noises that people make when they are blocking. It's kind of hard to reproduce with the human mouth, but it's a cool noise, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, It's when I play it, I don't even notice the graphics anymore. To be honest with you, you know what I mean.
For sure,
like, it disappears.
So once the loading screen's done, it's moving too fast.
And the loading screen takes a really long time. By the way, like after you lose a match locally and you like want to continue and rematch, like it's like
just wait for somebody to come out with the same hack. That
rematch, and I'm like, Jesus.
Like, I bet the same hack existed for Street Fighter V to just bypass the not loading. It's not a loading screen.
Because I mean,
when you're waiting on the world in Street Fighter V, it's probably going to be the same in Marvel.
If you're in the fighting game community and you're delaying one more game as long as possible, that just the salt levels like it's like exponential. Like where you're like rematch. Just get me back in the game. I want my revenge. You know, like that is the salty period.
So that's the gameplay. The internet play is very good.
I haven't done it yet.
The online play is very good. It's very good. It's not Killer Instinct, but that's fine. It's much better than almost every game out there. Like I would say that for me the best are Killer Instinct, Injustice, and Skullgirls.
Yeah.
And I would say it's just below that.
Okay.
It's just below. Like I've had matches. I haven't had a bad match yet.
Okay, because I've had bad matchups even in Injustice. Like I've had things like all of a sudden it just like chugs, you know. So, but again, that's very rare. So my Injustice experience has been fantastic, right? So
I've
if
played...
it's better than Street Fighter, if it's better than Tekken,
yes.
If it's better than Tekken, because I've been having terrible experiences with Tekken as well. So you know, I'm down with it. And a lot of people don't understand too that a lot of it has to do with the fact that it's not on CFN. That they don't have the cross-play, that they can just use the existing Microsoft and Sony servers and stuff like that. I should say the PC servers and stuff like that, right? So they've done a lot to make it so that it was going to run smoother, and that was one of the, to me, like if it came out and the netcode sucked, I would have just been like, okay.
I expected it to.
Right.
I for sure expected it to be bad. Street Fighter V is not that great. Marvel 3's was bad. I didn't expect some giant upgrade, but sure enough, there's a big upgrade. It really is good. Really is good.
Cool.
I've played it on both PC and PS4, and I've had nothing but good connections on both.
Yeah, and the input lag is 6. They just
for real?
Display Lag did a research on it, and they said that the input lag is about averaging around 6.
Is that on PlayStation?
On PlayStation.
Do you know if one was done for PC?
I don't know. But I mean, that's about to say that's a little bit better than what Street Fighter V was, and it's a little bit worse than what Ultra was. It's right in between the two. So even in the input lag area, yes, it sucks. The input lag is there, but again, it's not the worst that it could have been. And it's funny too because, like I said, the network and the input lag on like Tekken 7 on PS4 is like almost kind of inexcusable. Like I really need to just switch to PC for that game, dude.
Wait, for which?
Tekken 7.
Yeah.
Tekken 7. Ugh.
That's what I got.
Except everyone plays on freaking console. All the tournaments are on console.
Well,
though,
yeah. I mean, if you're a tournament player, you have to play on whatever the standard is, even if it's bad. You have to get used to it. But I have the luxury of not being one of those fellas.
Dude, MvCI, every time I played online, I was just like in exercise and just complete depression.
It was not good. I did have good connections with some people.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
and never fantastic. But I had like pretty good connections with some people. But you know, not great overall. This is much better.
Okay,
much better.
I mean, I might try it tomorrow night if I don't go to Wednesday night fights. We'll see what happens. So I'll try it online tomorrow. Cool.
Yay! Oh, most important news! On Steam, on the PC version, your in-game name changes along with your Steam ID, which doesn't happen in Street Fighter V, which is one of the few games on Steam that doesn't do that.
CFN, because you had to create your own thing.
CFN.
Right.
Which is always the same. You cannot change it. Just bugged me. But you can change it now. Yeah.
So Steam has always let you change your username?
Yeah.
You can just
well, I don't know about always, but since I've been using it for sure.
But I mean, like, does it still check for like duplicates and stuff like that, or can you just?
Yeah, I mean, there's like you have a login to Steam.
Oh, okay.
But then your like gamer name, I forget what the
right. But I mean, can like 7 people have Jago678 like be as their gamer name, or does it?
I'm honestly not sure.
Does it prevent it? Like, if I came on there and was like, I'm gonna be Kerrigan's butthole. Like, could I do that, or is it already taken up?
Well, it's not taken by me.
Okay.
But I honestly, I don't know.
Okay. Oh, some people are saying it doesn't check for duplicate display names, so you can have the same name. There you go.
There can be 2 long Lev Bronsteins.
I'm gonna find out whatever you are, and I'm just gonna duplicate it every single time, dude.
I was the Girthquake for quite a while.
You haven't been the Rumbler yet, have you?
I was previously the Rumbler.
You were the Rumbler.
I was.
Okay,
I was. Okay. I was Senator both of these for some time.
Agreed. And I've had to deal with it for 6 years of Ultra Gen TV. Oh, man. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I was also Dangle Throat Mangle for quite some time. It's great.